2 is better than 1, isn't it? But I'd say it's 4. Watch till the end of the video to get to know why.
The World War II ushered in a lot of industrial revolution, which needed the advancement of technology for the army and the troops to march forward. The Italians too had something like that, led by Mussolini. There was something that happened that time. 2 years later, after 1945, there was something which generally changed the face of motorcycle world in the entire Italian industry. The Ducatis were born, the Ferraris took place, the Lamborghinis, all of these ushered at one of the best times possible. Then Mr. Biagio founded a bicycle company named Aprilia. Aprilia literally stands for thank you in Italian. Well, they only wanted to build motorcycles. In fact, they only wanted to build bicycles. Then something happened. The 125cc class for the single cylinders 2 strokes were rushing in an era which no one could compete with. Later on, in the early 2000s, the V-twin was developed and the company Aprilia was bought over by Vespa. After a few years of working, something like this came to our Indian roads, the SR150, which is a magnificent scooter and it is ready to race feeling. The sharp and edgy styling, the beautiful feeling of this and the sleeky edges and the cutting edge graphics was the reason for only one and only one thing. Presenting you for the first time in our channel one of the best classes of bikes. One of the reasons why MotoGP is there. Here's the Aprilia RSV4.
All of us dream to own a later class superbike in our lives. If not own one, every motorcycle enthusiast at least dreams to ride one. There are a few perks of riding an automobile, especially a later class superbike includes one of those. However, a stint with any of these is not that frequent, but we get a chance to ride one of the fastest motorcycles in the world. When you are a seasoned rider and are looking for one of the best bikes available to hit the track with a jaw-dropping performance, something which churns over 200 horsepower and about 111 Nm of torque, with sharp and precise handling, superior braking, cutting-edge electronics and communicative chassis, and on this score, the RR is right up there with the very best sports bike money can ever buy. As this beast is staggering, coupled with the beastly and aggressive sounding V4, and the chassis is WSBK tested and developed. If you feel I'm exaggerating, then it is only cause this bike can do this. The RSV4 RR is the most attention-seeking bike ever. With the Aprilia racing livery all over, this superbike just grabs all the attention it can. It starts out with a lightweight carbon fiber front fender that keeps unsprung weight low at the front axle and also protects the swept area of the inverted front fork tubes. A trio of headlight projectors, new in this revision, dominate the front fairing above a pair of ram air ports that take advantage of the pressurized air at the entry to give the volumetric efficiency a bit of a boost. The redesigned wind tunnel tested fairing features a bubble screen up top to punch a hole in the wind for the rider's torso and head, and even the mirrors, and also new in this revision, are designed for low resistance penetration to maximize performance on the street. The Aprilia RSV4 has one of the most beautiful taillight designs ever seen on a motorcycle. Integrated LEDs for the taillight with a shark fin design towards the end. It also gets a tiny well-designed mudguard to hold the number plate and the indicators. The exhaust also get contrasting silver black with a big exhaust hole at the end. Dual steel discs also add more to the front, and not to forget the forged aluminum rims holding the massive rubber, giving the RR more character. The integrated LEDs on the rear view mirrors go very well with the overall design.
Damn it, man! Damn it! One of the most mental things I've ever seen in life. Ever seen in life. That pop, the exhaust, the bells and whistles are just out of this world amazing.
inch rims run with 120 by 70 up front, opposite a 200 by 55, and naturally the rubber comes with a ZR rating that can handle everything you throw at them, especially with the Pirelli Supercorsa tires with them. To be honest with you, I have never ridden something as maniac and monstrous as the RSV4. The way it delivers power, it's not at all nonchalant. The on-off throttle transition is one of the smoothest and one of the most fiercest that I have ever experienced firsthand in my entire life. The power comes from a V4 power plant to make the RR a real threat on both track and street. What kind of power are we talking about? Well, at 10,500 RPM, the torque maxes out at 111 Newton meters and about 201 horsepower at the same. This is insane considering it's a V4 and 999cc, and also the fact that it goes from 0 to 100 in less than 2.5 seconds, which is totally incomprehensible. Peaking at about 13,500 to 14,000 RPM, Aprilia's APRC, that is in-house Aprilia Performance Ride Control, is racers yet another dream, which I'll talk to about in a while. The dual beam frame on the RSV4 RR is straight out of the WSBK division with a level of adjustability we usually don't find in the street bike sector. Not even close. It provides an adjustable steering head that lets you dial in the rake with a variable rear end height and swing up pivot point. Plus you can adjust the position of the engine within the frame. If you're really into the science of racing, this is the exact machine up for you. At 845mm, the RSV4 is one of the tallest super bikes I've ever ridden. The V4 engine makes the bike sleek and is very thin for a little class motorcycle. The seating posture is very aggressive, but once you get the hang of the seat height, everything gets back to normal. The foot pegs are raised and completely rear set, making the RSV4 front heavy, just like all super bikes. The RR here does not have a pillion seat, which makes it for you to arrive alone. The tank, the chassis and the handlebars are very well designed, and once you sit on the motorcycle, you're one with the bike no matter what. And about the chassis, the structure is made of both cast and pressed aluminum members for lightweight strength. And the gull-wing yoke-style swing arm is of a similar construction and is 14mm longer than the previous gen. Sax is well represented on the RR. It starts with the steering damper that stabilizes the kickback generated when the front end gets light and comes back down of alignment with the direction of travel. Given the power the RR brings on the table, it's more of a necessity than a luxury to be sure on the racetracks. A pair of inverted 43mm stems float the front end with the full spectrum of adjustment and 4.72 inches of travel. Out back, a monoshock and APS progressive linkage deliver the usual 3 adjustments and 5.11 inches of travel along with variable center to center length for a little bit of slack. As with just about every superbike that boasts a lot of go, the RR brings a truckload of stop to the table with dual 320mm discs up front and Brembo's 4-pot opposed pistons M430 monoblock anchors to bite them. A twin piston anchor grabs the 220mm rear disc, and both ends benefit from the Bosch 9MP ABS feature that pairs a trio of profiles to let you dial in the desired level of intervention with rear wheel lift up prevention built in. If you are one of those crazy riders who get off on pulling endos or you want to pull a lot of wheelies, you can disengage all of these together.
The aesthetics of this, the build quality of this, the mentality of this, oh my god, there's much less to even think of it. That's why you call this an Aprilia, and it's a V4 for a reason.
This Aprilia also comes bundled with APRC, you know, the typical Aprilia performance ride control systems that supports a launch control feature that help you nail your whole shots along with traction and wheelie control with extra stability once you get underway. The gearbox in the RSV4 is very precise and shifts very well. There are a total of 3 riding modes. Sport mode felt the best for city and highway runs. Race and track mode felt a little too much while riding down in the highways of Kolar. I'll be honest, even though this is one of the most exotic and well sought after superbikes from the Italian stable, the V4 is very harsh and it can be felt all over the motorcycle even with the engine sound. The V4 powerhouse isn't as refined as an inline 4, but it makes up with a mind-blowing exhaust note. Our bike did not have an exhaust note, but our buddies did have an SE project and we show you how amazing it sounded. Trust me, this is one of the most insane motorcycles mankind has ever thought of creating. Just the addition of electronics has made it road legal. Still, even though with its flaws, I would gladly accept it to be one of the best on my list of my dream machines. The Aprilia livery and the mind-boggling exhaust note has just won my heart. Even though there are a lot of V4s in the market, especially the Ducati V4 to give it a very tight competition, and also the inline 4s from the Japanese side which can give it a very tough competition, especially on the pricing side. Considering this bike costs way about 20 lakhs on the Indian side, it will stay for a while on the Indian shows without being sold quite a bit. So all I'll tell you guys, if you really have the passion for riding and if you really want to be unique on the roads and on the racetracks, trust me, this is one of the most communicative bikes you could ever find, and for the price of 23 lakhs on road Bangalore, this is absolutely stupid for any person to buy this bike unless you have it in you to own an RSV4. Well, I don't know how many times have I told thank you, but I thank you so much, Sagar, for letting me ride your wonderful and amazing little beast, the RSV4, and made our day much more special than it could ever be. Once again, I have put up his Instagram ID in the description below. Please do follow him. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. Till next time, get set anarchy.